We are live, which is awesome. How can you tell if people are hopping in? Is there a way I can see that or no? Okay. Okay, everything is... I think I broke my computer. Hi, everyone. Hey. I can't see the comments. Gotcha. I also have people emailing. Okay, she just got it. Okay. I can't see. Let me go pull this up. No, but she was able to, so that's awesome. Because I was like, no. Okay, so I found the chat. Yes. I'm not. I need everyone to know I'm just here to talk. I am not the tech savvy one. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, all I see is 3 comments. I just saw your hey. Okay. Okay, and we also have the comments that are embedded on the website. So if you're viewing this from the website, you can add a comment underneath. I don't know that it displays it, but we get it over here. So this is good for people who maybe you have a question and you feel uncomfortable sharing it with everyone. when you submit one online, well, underneath the actual webinar thing, I get it. So I guess actually you get the YouTube ones and I get everything else. But yes, but we have Carissa who's here. Hi, Carissa. I always wondered, is it Alicia or Alicia? I'm not going to say that it is either one because I hate when people mess up my name. So I'm going to ask. But I know your blog. I've seen you so many times. Just wondering if it's Alicia or Alicia. So I know. I wish that this comment app thing displayed their comments so they could see, but that's okay. I saw Simone. Oh, from Jersey. New York soon. So, woo-hoo. And then Britt. Hey. Which is great. How come? So we will go ahead. Okay, so you put it over here. Alicia, like Alicia Keys. That's what I thought. But you know, I love to ask because anyone, but yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I like that she put like Alicia Keys because she knew. Tremaine is here. Hello, hello. How are you? Give people maybe a second or two, and then we will go ahead and get started. I know I have myself on a charger. Indianapolis, there are a lot of bloggers in Indianapolis. I see you all. I see you, and I see what you are doing. Okay, I just want to let you know Indianapolis is on the come up with bloggers, so that's awesome. Yay! Yes. Yes. Mhm. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome. So excited to have you all here. My name is Victoria. I actually go by Tori. So it's always funny when people call me Victoria. I'm a blogger and micro influencer. My blog is She's Candid. It's about being a great girl boss and things about my life. You know, it's very all over the place at times, but still, I find a way to bring it in by being candid. Outside of that, I'm the founder and president of Black Bloggers United, as she said, and it is just a great platform for bloggers. So if you are a PR professional looking to maybe start a blog, once you do, definitely feel free to join. And if you are a blogger who's a part of our network, thank you so much for constantly supporting the movement. And I will give it to Ashley to introduce herself to you all. Yes. Is Ashley speaking? I can't hear her. I can hear you. In my case, is different. Can you hear Ashley now? I can't hear anything either. Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Okay, so they hear me. Okay, well, Britt hears me. Um, I don't know. Can they? All right, so everyone can just hear me still now. Your mic is unmuted, so I don't know what the problem is. Can you put the slides on your thing so as I'm talking, they can, I don't know if it bounces back and forth. Hopefully it doesn't. Yes, so the importance of social media. So if we go to the next slide on here, actually I have this awesome quote that is definitely helpful to really getting you all to understand the importance of social media. So according to HubSpot, 92% of marketers in 2014 claimed that social media marketing was important for their business, with 80% indicating their efforts increased traffic to their websites. So the importance of social media as a blogger, specifically a blogger or a content creator in some fashion, is huge in order to generate that traffic to your website and ultimately generate revenue, whether you're monetizing with ads, sponsored content, affiliate links, etc. The same goes for people who are, let's say, PR professionals looking to gain traffic to hopefully gain more clients. Social media plays an integral part in getting people from one place to another and basically being a driving force in traffic. This stat was actually taken from a Forbes article, which I think really hit the nail on the head in terms of explaining all of the benefits and the importance of social media. You know, they have, I believe they shared 4. The first one was increased brand recognition. So if you're a newer brand, it's really, really, really important to have a social media platform in order to get your brand recognized, get people acquainted with you. For people who are a little more seasoned, it's seasoned as well as have established their brand. It's great for improving brand loyalty. There's been many companies, personally as a consumer, I've seen dope things that they do on Instagram, for example, which moves me to be a continuous customer of theirs. So improving that brand loyalty. Outside of that, there's more opportunities to convert. So before, most people would just use SEO to get their page ranked up on Google, but now you can generate more of that traffic, like I was just talking about, and convert those actual followers into traffic and real-time customers on your website. And lastly, they mentioned they have higher conversion rates, which is true. It's very, it increases your conversion rates because it's like you're actually interacting with the customer. So say, for example, you're an online store. Who doesn't necessarily, all you are is an online store. Before you were just using SEO, like I had mentioned, where your page is ranked on Google, you're the first thing that comes up. You're not connecting with them. You're not building that relationship. Even on Twitter, I know people all the time who tweet companies and have conversations with the company. That's really converting them to a full, it's helping in the conversion rate, long story short. So hopefully that makes sense. But long story short, with all of those points and this lovely quote from Forbes, social media is so important if you are trying to make a statement, start a business, have a blog, which a lot of you do have blogs. Social media is important. And today we're going through all of the different ones because not every single social media platform is the exact same. Some have things that will aid you in different ways than others. And yeah, so we're going to be going through all of those now. Checking back in with Ashley to see if you got your mic situation figured out, boo. Oh, no, I don't even hear Ashley. I don't hear her. Ashley? Because she's controlling the slides. Technical difficulties, folks. Okay, now I hear you. Ashley? Can you hear Ashley now? People who are listening, because I hear her. correct, but, you know, still trying to make sure. So can anyone who's tuning in right now comment if you can hear Ashley? All right, Savannah says no. The double scoop said no. Okay. Double scoop. I forget both of your names off the top of my head, but I love your stuff. Just saying. Okay. All right, no one can hear you. Okay. If you can go to the next slide, Ash. Okay, so just like I had mentioned, all platforms are not the same. All social media platforms. So your Instagram is not the same as your Facebook, even though Facebook owns both of them. Snapchat is not the same as Twitter, and so on and so forth. If you're a content creator, you already know this. But really having a deep understanding of each of the platforms is very beneficial in truly maximizing, generating more traffic, more following, and really building yourself with these platforms. So if we can go to the next slide. It's so weird that I can hear you because I feel like I want to have a conversation because we're great when we chat together and we can't do that. Yeah. Well, you can just keep figuring out the issue. And if anyone ends up hearing Ashley, just drop it in the comments so we can, because I know you would love to hear her talk just as much as I would. So we're starting out with Instagram, right? Instagram seems to be the creme de la creme of social media platforms right about now. One of the biggest things, so what do people want to see on Instagram? Realistically, with Instagram, it's about the images as well as the videos. So in terms of what you're posting on Instagram, if it's not, I'm not even going to say high quality. I think high quality is the wrong word. Properly curated photos on Instagram, they may not perform as well. They may not perform as well as those amazing high quality unique photos. So Instagram is really the hub for photos. The best of the best photos that you have need to go here. You can share them at other platforms, but this is the one where you really want to level up on the on putting your photos up. In terms of your algorithm, so I'm sure without saying, the majority of us have been impacted by the new algorithm. People who used to get well, for those of you who don't know, Instagram changed their algorithm. So it's no longer the most recent post at the top and so on and so forth. It's now whatever's doing the best. I think no one really knows what's supposed to be happening with the algorithm, but in terms of beating the algorithm, I think that's something that all of us are constantly trying to do at this point in time. The best thing that I've seen people say that they should be doing is just continuing to go on and engage with your fellow followers and following. I read an article that informed us that the best way to, by engaging with other people's content, for example, if I engage with someone who has 150 followers or whatever, and I have like 4,000, their stuff is going to end up on the popular page, the explore feed of all of my following, if that makes any sense, or it's more likely to get on there because I liked it. So things like that, understanding little tips and tricks like that is important, which is the reason things like comment pods exist. Our engagement groups exist because people liking and commenting on other people's posts gets their stuff boosted up. So far from what we know, Instagram, if you Google Instagram algorithm, if you're unaware of it, it has been something that everyone is battling. Everyone has been impacted by it. So the best advice that we can give to you is to just continue to engage organically and to continue to post that high quality content, and you should survive on Instagram. I will say, I wish Ashley you could hear her, because everyone knows Instagram is not my favorite platform. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. So yeah, for this reason. In terms of having a flawless feed, I don't believe you have to have a flawless feed to succeed. I think that the best thing to do is to just have good quality images. So I've seen people before who screenshot, they have a new blog post and like just screenshot the text. That for Instagram isn't something that typically people would do to generate traffic, right? So posting an image of an event that you want to be at, you know, like say Essence Fest just happened. When people post pictures from Essence Fest, you want to go figure out what Essence Fest is. So Instagram is definitely that space to post those photos, those really eye-catching photos that are going to make people want to click the link in the bio. Having a curated, flawless feed, depending on what you're going for. If you're going for a curated, flawless person, then maybe it will work for you. Yes, what I will say is statistically speaking, because I'm huge on statistics, statistically speaking, I think it's 62% of brands, 60 of the top brands on Instagram do use the same filter on their photos. I may have butchered that statistic for you all, but long story short, I will say that having uniformity in what you're doing will help with your Instagram feed. So I don't believe that you have to look like a fake person or have like no room for error and it's just all perfect. But little things with consistency, like maybe the different emojis that you choose to use, filters, so having a similar filter on everything does help from a statistics standpoint. Because like I said, a lot of brands actually do that, and it does help with driving actual customers and traffic to the website. So that would be a little tip of mine. And tools for success, there's tons of apps out there, depending on if you're talking about editing. For example, Snapseed is great. There's another one. I have to check my phone. But Snapseed is great if you want to plan out your feed. Things like Planoly are great. They send you notifications when it's time to post in case you forget, to keep you on a consistent schedule. So depending on what you're trying to use Instagram for, you have to find the right app to fit that. So I don't know if anyone would like to drop in the comments if they're looking for something in particular. I'll be happy to direct you to an app because there's an app for everything. But yeah, there's tons of photo editing apps that you can download. And the reason that that's really good is a lot of people are like, I don't have a high quality camera, I can't do anything. You can absolutely still take amazing photos, edit them, be awesome. If you need some inspiration, and I know Ashley will agree with me on this, even though you cannot hear her, follow Darden Creative. She took all of her photos. She used to take all of her photos with just her iPhone, and they look like high quality, amazing images. You do not need a DSLR camera to take photos. You need a good iPhone camera. She had an iPhone 4 at the time, so the image quality was not, and good photo editing apps. So if you're looking for different tools, can you spell the apps? Planoly is the one that's built that you can schedule out. Snapseed, Snapseed. And because, you know, I keep no secrets, I actually deleted all of my photo editing apps because I have no storage on my phone. But Snapseed is a good one that I've heard of. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll let you know the other ones that I used to have on here.
Can you hear me now? Tori?
There was one that I use all the time.
Tori!
That really worked for me. Snapseed is the one that you'll hear a lot of people talk about. VSCO is one that a lot of photographers use, really giving those cinematic filters. Yep, there you go. What is another one? Ashley, since you're typing. Oh, you can hear her? I can't hear her now. So that's
yay!
I can't hear you.
I'm so excited. Yay!
Okay, I can hear you now. Sorry, folks. But at least look at them. At least they're happy, because I was like, oh my God, they're gonna hate us. Ashley, what photo editing apps do you use?
Yeah, you said Plannerly, Visco. This is gonna sound real bougie, but I actually use Lightroom on my computer. I don't really use any editing apps on my phone, but I think you are able to download Lightroom on your phone. I'm not 100% sure. You all can look into that, but Lightroom by Adobe, it's a real thing, a real thing. It's not really an app. Yeah, sorry. Oh, well, actually, before I became bougie, I can look up what I used to use. I think it was like Color Story. That's what I used before I was bougie. So yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a really cute app. I love Color Story because I feel like not a lot of people use it. So since it's underrated, you know, it's better to use things that everyone else isn't using is what I really mean. So yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, those are the if you look up like I said, look up Darn Creative because she's amazing. Tamara's awesome with how to use your phone to edit. In terms of other apps, like I said, Planoly is great for scheduling. UNUM I use to schedule. The great thing is I use Photoshop as well to edit my photos. The great thing about Planoly and UNUM, you can put Instagram pictures in the feed to see what it looks like before you post. So you can plan out your entire feed and what it'll look like for like the next 30, 50 posts, depending on how perfectly flawless you want your feed to look. But definitely helpful, especially if you don't have time. It will remind you to post because consistency is definitely a thing on all of these platforms. Even though we're not going to today be telling you about how you need to be consistent, consistency is key. So definitely. But on each of the slides on every social media platform, we are sharing a stat or a little tip. Did you all know that 60% of top brands on that was the stat. Wow. We're just gonna disregard that. I just had like a total, just a brain blank. Wow. That is the statistic I just referenced. But long story short, same filter, same editing kind of is really helpful in creating an awesome Instagram feed that everyone wants to follow. So that's all I have to say on Instagram. Ashley, do you have anything to add? Ashley, you're still on mute.
No, you did a great job.
Like, I cannot believe I just stated that thing. It was right there in front of me. That's why I was so focused on everyone else, but it's okay.
It happens to all of us. But yeah, now we are going to move on to Twitter, which is Tori's favorite, so I'll let you take it away.
I just finished talking. Okay. Twitter. Twitter is huge. Okay. Twitter is a huge traffic source. I actually just did a live session on Twitter the other day discussing how to actually tips and tricks for growing on Twitter, because Twitter, like I said, is huge. So mainly you're thinking you have 140 characters. What can you do? Twitter is powerful in that 140 characters, you can say so many, you could say everything, and you could say everything, or you can find everything and search for everything, right? So let's break it up like that. So what is everything in terms of the actual post title, right? So one of the things that I love about Twitter is you can share old content. Sharing old content is huge because, for example, on Instagram, you may say, hey, I have a new blog post, link in bio. People might go today, but tomorrow, the next day, that post might not be getting traffic if you're not constantly sharing it or promoting it elsewhere. So the good thing about Twitter is you can do things like schedule tweets and put all of your information. Yeah, it is the best. And you can put all of the information in that 140 characters. So what do you put in that 140 characters? You put a catchy title, phrase, excerpt, quote, what have you from your blog post. letting people know kind of what they're in store for. I've seen people put things like new blog post, then the link. No, that is not descriptive of what's going on. You only have 140 characters, and you have to explain to people in that 140 characters why they should click that link. So things like if I said new post, link in bio, and then put the link or whatever, would you click on that, or would you click on, statistically speaking, the blog community is 42% more saturated than last year?
Yeah, you have to give some details.
Exactly. If you're a blogger, you're like, oh no, I'm not sharing my space with 42% more people. You know what I mean? It's already a highly competitive market, let's be honest. So things like that are really important. And I think sometimes people miss the mark. So if you're on Twitter, use the most of your 140 characters, right? So tell them a snippet of what it is, what it's about, what's going on. Add the link. I personally like bit.ly links. Some people like Google links. Some people also like Hootsuite links, Buffer. They have like built-in links to make it a small, short snippet. Because you don't want like a long link. Like if the URL is very long, that's very unattractive. So no. And then adding your hashtag so it's searchable everywhere. I explained in my live session the other day that, if you have 150 followers, that is fine. If you're tweeting them to go read this post, you're tapping into that 150 people. If you're not adding a hashtag, you're not reaching anyone past your 150 people. So in order to continue to reach new people who might be interested, you need to find targeted hashtags to include in your tweets. So I definitely recommend, even though it's 140 characters, and depending on how long your
tweet is, or whatever you're trying to say.
Yeah, you might not have a little bit of room, but realistically adding that extra, even if it's one hashtag that's specifically targeted towards your demographic or the audience you're trying to reach, it helps in that if your audience has already read it, somebody else out there may be discovering it for the first time, and that is what's really important. Yeah. So how can tweets be optimized? Actually, I'm going to let you answer this question because I'm tired of talking. Little trick.
No, it's exactly what you said, by using the hashtags. So basically, optimization comes down to how can this be, in the eyes of more people. So definitely using hashtags, but also realizing that once you tweet, it's on someone's feed for maybe like 2 seconds, and then it goes away, because feeds are scheduled by times. It's not like Instagram where like, oh, you got 10,000 likes or 10,000 retweets, so you're at the top of someone else's feed, which that does sometimes happen. Yes, I know. I turn on my Twitter and I see some of those popular things in the front of me, but for the most part, it is about time. So don't be afraid to tweet the same thing in different words 4 times a day. You have to get creative with it, but you have to make sure that you're always showing up on people's feeds. And something that a tool for success that Tori and I both use is called Viral Tag. It is like the best kept secret, because it's not known. And we love Viral Tag. We would be ambassadors for Viral Tag. Viral Tag, if you're listening. But yeah, and obviously other people use Hootsuite and all these other things. CoSchedule is another one that people use, but CoSchedule is a little expensive for me. I don't know how y'all pockets are, but Viral Tag, I will type that in the group.
I just did for you.
Okay, perfect. Viral Tag is bae. So make sure you check them out. Also, what is the best type of content for this platform? Anything that's short and catchy. Like Tori said, like, you don't want to say, check out my new blog post, because who really cares about your blog post? Your mom and your cousin and your dog, but when it comes to the rest of these people, they want something that's going to entice them. So make sure that
like a preview, a little, because don't be the clickbait. YouTube has we'll talk about YouTube later, but YouTube has become the hub of clickbait. You see people who make videos of like, I killed my dog, I lost my parents, and I haven't eaten in 4 days, and it's something completely unrelated. You want something that's descriptive and catchy. So
yeah,
be it, you already naming it something that's catchy.
Yeah.
Having catchy blog post titles to begin with is very helpful in the area. But if not, have something that's catchy. Maybe asking a question. What would happen? For example, I one of my blog posts was I cut social media out of my life, and this is what happened. Right? As a blogger, people were like, "No, I have to read this." Like, what happened? Because people want to know what happened. So if you're going to go away to entice people to click in that short little 140 characters, it's actually a lot. There's a lot of room there, depending on what you use it for. So.
Exactly. Cool. And now we are going to move on to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Is Facebook still relevant? I don't know. You tell me. Because I personally know the people that I talk to, they're like, oh, Facebook is old. It's either for old people or like really young people. Because I work in a lot of high schools, and actually some young people are using Facebook more now. And I'm like, oh, it's more so this millennial generation who is not here for the Facebook. So I personally think it's still relevant, but I study different people's social media, and all of you should as well. And what I've noticed about Facebook is that it doesn't like promoting your personal content unless you're paying for them to put it at the top.
Yep.
So the way that I've seen professional people get away with using Facebook is by sharing other people's content. Facebook loves that. They want you to be as unselfish as possible. So like we said in the beginning, like all of these platforms are different. So whereas on Twitter, you might be sharing your own information all day long, on Facebook, it's good to share other people's posts. It's good to share like those videos that are going around. It's really good to share all this information because those things already have eyes on them. So once you are sharing information that is already generating, people's views, then you can get those eyes to your information. Personally, I've never used Facebook Live, but I do know people who set up Facebook Live, Periscope, and Instagram Live on obviously 3 different platforms or 3 different devices, and they do live video like that. I am down for live video no matter what platform it is on, because I think that's where you can gain the most interaction. Because people love live. We're live right now. Isn't it pretty dope that y'all could type in the box and talk to us?
We are live
Like,
right now.
I think that's cool. So you can definitely check that out. One thing about Facebook Live, though, is that you have to navigate it and figure out, is this appropriate for me to go live on my personal, like, Ashley Danielle page? Or do I have to do this, for my audience? Because my friends and family, do they really care about what Don't Die Afraid's doing? Maybe your friends and family do care about your brand, but maybe they don't. So maybe that means that you need to take that over to your actual personal business page and do your live platform from there. And I know a lot of people are always in the battle of, are groups better, are pages better? Which one should I do? I personally still do have a Don't Die Afraid page, but I'm also in a lot of groups. And I think groups are a great networking tool. And it's just like your page, let's think of your Facebook page as your business card. And the group is actually the networking event. So in order for people to see your business card, you have to go to the networking event, right? Because if you're sitting at home, no one's going to see your business card that way. So you need to show up in these groups and make sure that you're in the right groups that allow you a space to promote yourself. So in that space, you can promote your page. You can promote, the links to your blog posts that are on your pages, or if you have videos there. So that is what I say. It's best to have both of them, because you can't really have one without the other. Because if you go into a group but you don't have a page, you don't have anything to promote, you're not really driving traffic to your Facebook page. Yeah, you might drive traffic to your blog post, which is great, the ultimate goal. But I know I was in this group, I can't remember which one, and every week we would do a roundup of, share one social media platform that you need help on. And I would always share my Facebook page. And when I would go through the feed, I would always just like people's Facebook pages because it's simple, it's easy, and a lot of people don't feel deterred by doing it. But with Instagram, they're like, oh no, I gotta look at their Instagram. I gotta see if it's something that I want in my feed. Is it pretty? Is it worthy of me following? And there's a lot of requirements that you have to pass in order for someone to follow you on Instagram. Whereas with Facebook, people usually follow any and every page. And in regards to tools for success, I do know that Viral Tag and Hootsuite both work on, and I think CoSchedule. I'm not too sure about CoSchedule, but all three of those also work on Facebook. So you can do posting there in your groups, on your pages, and everywhere. And a little fun fact is that 2 million businesses use Facebook to advertise via WorldStream. So clearly, if they're still doing it, we should still do it. But
Yeah,
also make sure
Facebook.
that you don't feel overwhelmed. You're doing mastering the ones that you feel are the most appropriate for your business and your brand. What were you going to say, Tori?
Yeah, Facebook is still the largest social media platform, so don't be fooled. I think millennials have gone on the Instagram train, but like I tell people all the time, certain thing, everything will come and go. But for now, Instagram is still a huge platform. I think it's 1.6. Hold on, I always have stats, and this time I'm actually making sure before I say it incorrectly. I just had it.
Is it the stat on the thing?
No, it's not that stat. It is. Facebook has 1.6 billion daily visitors. All right, so let's just process that. 1.6 billion daily. It is still the largest platform, whether we like it or not. So understanding, like Ashley said, understanding, is it appropriate for you to have a group? If you have a group, maybe there needs to be a point to your group. Not everyone should just have a group just to talk. Things like having challenges within your group, having offers and discounts if you're selling something. Those are some really good Having a private Facebook group is something that's really unique and allows you to further promote and sell to your audience if that's something that you're doing. If you're looking at joining groups with other bloggers, it's a great way to promote. BBU personally, you guys know, we have a Facebook group that is definitely helpful in for even just asking questions to other bloggers. So Facebook groups are definitely a thing. In terms of growing your brand with a Facebook group, I would say that Jackie of Adorned by Chi did this very well with she has a group called Soft Black Girls. You can actually join it. It went from, a couple hundred to thousands of Black women across the US and I would say world. So Facebook groups are definitely a thing. Pages, we're going to get into Instagram. Well, we already got into Instagram. In order to have a business account on Instagram, you have to have a Facebook page. So I personally still have my Facebook page for that purpose because I like to track the analytics on my Instagram page. Outside of that, I personally don't use my Facebook page as much as I probably should. But you just have to figure out what's best for your brand because some people flourish at Facebook and things go viral. It's all about figuring out what is best for you. So that's my little tidbit addition to the Facebook. And I really quickly, I'm so sorry I missed Tamara's question because it's over here on a different comment thing. How do you learn to be creative with your wording? Typically, we just start with figuring out a title that people will really capture people's attention. You have to think realistically going back to promoting because, Facebook is similar to Twitter. You can continue to share things on your Facebook page. I will say that. You just have to remember, I say, ask yourself, why should someone click on this? If it's, for example, Jay-Z's album just came out. If you post a review on Jay-Z's album, do you know how many people are already talking about it, already have opinions, have already shared it? That doesn't give anyone the desire to click on the link. So thinking outside of the box and figuring out a way to
set yourself apart. Yeah.
Yeah, setting yourself apart, I think, online. If you find anything on your feed that has gone viral, it's probably something you haven't seen before. A great example of that is BuzzFeed Tasty. They took, I mean, not to say that no one has ever done that, but they took over the online recipe world. They started making videos showing you actually how they cut the onions. They revolutionized what was going on. So that's probably not a good example for creative wording, but it's something that is creative, and creative things that are unique do well online. So figuring out a way to uniquely express what your blog post is about is the key to actually getting people from the social media platform to click that link or visit that website or take the action that you're wanting them to take. So I hope that answered your question, Tamara. Sorry that we missed it. And I will let Ashley continue.
Perfect. So the next one is YouTube, which is my hands down favorite platform on planet Earth, because I'm a huge visual person. And it's because visuals are dope. And yeah, photos are great. I do love photos, but when it comes down to videos, it's just way more meaningful to me. Um, Oh, Brittany just said that BuzzFeed Tasty just launched their app today. So look at God. Like, we are just in perfect alignment and we don't even know it.
Tasty is everything. If you do not follow, I follow them on Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. Like, it's a problem. But that goes to show if something is unique and great and fabulous, people are going to follow you. There's no reason I need to have them on 3 social media platforms and they post the same recipes. But I love them that much because it's something unique and something I don't see everywhere with what they do. So that definitely great that you post that. I'm probably going to download the app, to be honest. I'm just going to let you guys know. But when you have something that's creative and valuable, it doesn't matter how many times you share it, you know, people are going to get acquainted with it, love it, connect with it, follow it, ride or die for it.
Exactly.
Continue, Ashley.
And you, to segue, you want people to ride or die for your YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
And the way you do that is by engaging them. So the first question we have is, what type of videos will engage your audience? 1, it has to be creative. 2, it has to be short. Okay? Because realistically, nobody's out here trying to watch a 20-minute video. Me, personally, I do watch 20-minute videos on YouTube. I do watch vlogs.
Well.
I am connected to certain people, and I will watch 40 minutes of their lives because we are connected. We are one. The way Tori feels about Tasty is the way I feel about, you know, some of my YouTube boos. But realistically, if you are a person on YouTube that I've never seen, and I see that your video is over 5 minutes, I will only give you about 30 seconds of my time, quite honestly. So you want to make sure that your videos are short, quick, and you get your point across. Because quite honestly, you don't need more than 2 minutes to get your point across. So a great way to do this is to basically plan out your YouTube videos. What I do is I do plan out bullet points before I start filming, and that gives me a guideline and a blueprint of what I need to say so I can go in and say it quick, fast, and in an interesting way. And how do you ensure that your content is seen? I don't know if you all are familiar with this, but YouTube is getting more and more difficult for smaller creators to let their content be seen. I follow, like I said, a lot of large YouTubers, and they're even getting the same issues as other creators. So their solution to that was to create more content. But how easy is it already to create 2 videos a week? Now you're saying, like, I need to be in the front of people's faces every day. That's difficult. So instead of depending on YouTube to promote your stuff and to make sure that you're at the top, that means that you need to do your job to get your YouTube content out there by using other platforms. So one way is to make sure that you're tweeting out your video maybe 4 or 5 times a day. Like I said, with different words. Make sure that with your YouTube video, you also create a blog post that accompanies it, and your YouTube video is embedded in it. Also sharing it on Facebook. I know Facebook and YouTube have a rivalry where it is really hard for actual Facebook posts with a YouTube link to be seen. So what I have done by studying the pros is I will create a 15-second trailer for my YouTube video and put that on my Facebook page. And it'll be like the most interesting part of the video. And then the end slate will say view more at youtube.com/don't die afraid. And I'll also put that on Facebook, and I'll also put that on Instagram. So you can't really depend on YouTube to put yourself out there. So you got to make sure that you're putting your stuff out there on your own. And what equipment should I invest in? It's similar to how we were talking about Instagram, and everyone wants popping photos and everyone wants $1,000 cameras. And it's like, that's not realistic, boo. Like, if you don't have the money, then you don't have the money. But that does not mean that you cannot create great content without the money. It just means that you need to get a little more creative, darling. So I can't afford, well, yeah, no, I still can't afford it. I can't afford Final Cut. So what I did was I learned iMovie, and I learned how to use green screens. So I will type that in the chat, green screens for iMovie. You can literally do a search on YouTube for green screens for iMovie, and you will be able to see all the wonders that iMovie can do. And it will literally make your stuff look like it's Final Cut Pro. And in regards to cameras, you have to realize that, obviously, I know you hear this 1,000 times a day, but smartphones do have some great quality. And if you are creative with your editing, no one will ever know. As long as you record it in the vertical way, well, horizontal, not vertical, ha ha ha, horizontal way, then you will be good at money. And in regards to tools for success, like I said, using those other social media platforms to promote your YouTube videos is basically your #1 tool for success. And like I said, finding little hacks. Even if you do have Final Cut Pro, make sure that you download plugins that allow you to have different transitions. Whatever you have, you want to make sure that you go a step above and beyond that, so you aren't using the same transitions, titles, and all of those other things that everyone else is. And our little fun fact for this is 6 out of 10 people prefer online video platforms to live TV. And that is true for me. I literally might turn my TV on once a week, and that's just to watch Queen Sugar. But besides that, like, YouTube is my go-to. Like, I'm watching YouTube at all times of the day. So yeah, if you all have any questions, just drop them in the chat. Tori, did you have anything to add about YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube is definitely, like you had mentioned, YouTube is definitely a place, also a platform, I would say. A lot of people use YouTube in addition to their blog, and promoting, you know, like at the end, the link to the blog post is in the bottom, in the description or whatever. Mm-hmm. YouTube is definitely a great place if you are a video person. It's a great place to show people who you are by them hearing you talk if you don't do live. And one of the things I love about YouTube, which we're not going to get into today, so let's not go into the deep questions, but YouTube monetizes itself when you do hit a certain number of views. So if a video does really well, you might get a check cut to you from YouTube just by uploading a video. So for a lot of bloggers who are like trying to figure out how to monetize without putting the spammy ads, without, you know, making master courses and things like that, YouTube is a great platform because it will monetize once you're generating that decent traffic. It's actually, I'm another statistic. There's about 10,000 YouTube videos that have generated more than 1 billion views. On a billion views on a YouTube video, that I think after 100,000 views, your check from YouTube is roughly in the $1,000 range.
Yeah, and you can
just to give you guys an idea.
Yeah, and you can go on YouTube and search, you know, my check from YouTube. There's a lot of people that I follow that literally show their checks, and they show what their analytics look like. If I can find her name, I'll put her name in here. And also,
yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, Devin on Deck. Devin on Deck is an amazing, dope creative that you all should follow. Learn from him. He's awesome.
Yeah, there's plenty of videos that there's videos on YouTube that tell you how to make videos on YouTube. You just got to find your favorite person that you'd prefer to learn from. But like she said, you really don't need to go out and buy expensive equipment. I think if anything, your lighting is more important than your actual equipment. Good lighting, good natural lighting from a window or something can work wonders with an iPhone or with a standard non-DSLR camera. So really do your research, figure out which tools you need for success, you personally, and use YouTube to get your video game up.
Yeah. Cool.
I think there was a comment over here.
Oh, you have a comment? I don't have any.
Tasty is on Snapchat too. Ooh, say no more, Carla. It is done. It is done.
Y'all are silly. All right, and now we are going to move on to Pinterest.
I love the first question. Why is this platform so underrated?
And it's because people don't even know how to use it. Like back in the day, what do we know Pinterest as? Creating our little boards for, me personally, I had boards for fashion, little fashion ideas, boards for recipes, boards for home decor. Right. But guess what,
I still have all of those.
Oh, I still have them too. But I'm saying that's what we knew Pinterest as. It was just an organizational tool for these boards that we wanted to know more about this information. But the secret is that content belongs to someone. So just the way you're sitting there pinning, this outfit, that outfit, this recipe, people could be out there pinning your information too. So you want to make sure that on Pinterest, you are popping and people are pinning your stuff. And I feel like it's underrated because people just saw it as a tool that they used to help them with things instead of a tool that they could be utilizing to get their information out there. I feel like we forgot that, we're actually pinning blog posts, Yeah, Tremaine agrees. It is so underrated.
And the thing is, I know we're skipping, but if we check the stat, 93% of Pinterest users use the platform to plan or make purchases. This is true because anytime I've needed inspiration for an outfit or maybe inspiration for a party I want to plan or looking into, I want to buy a new dress, I typically will go to Pinterest. And like she said, almost every single piece of content on there is linked to either a website or a blog, right? So you're pinning it's like a nice picture. Oh, this is a cute wedding. That wedding might be on someone's blog on weddings. It's definitely a platform that it is meant for you to pin other people's content. The whole point, even though people who are not into the social media world don't realize that they're pinning other people's content, they're pinning other people's content. So if your content is not on Pinterest and you're not making Pinterest optimized graphics, which are typically vertical, from infographics to just images, you need to absolutely do that. It is a huge traffic source. I would argue bigger than Twitter, depending on how you use it. I have no idea how to use Pinterest for my blog. You have to, using Pinterest is as simple as setting up graphics, optimized. So like I said, longer ones. And you just add the pin, link it to your blog or the blog post, and you pin it to a regular board. Group boards come into play here. I know that we didn't, well, this will be under how do I promote my content. Your own content is huge. A way to get your content viewed as well as more followers is to also continue to pin other people's content. So me, for example, I have some of my posts pinned, but I go on Pinterest like a regular person. I'll post and I'll repin hair pictures. I'll repin, cute outfits, travel guides or whatever. That's all other people's stuff, but it's helping my stuff get recognized by Pinterest because it shows I'm an active user. So you want to be sure that you're actively using Pinterest, even if it is just repinning stuff that you like. Additionally, once you set up your own pins, you need to repin them and share them in your boards as well as group boards. So for example, I repin my pins into group boards and other boards that I'm a part of. So same thing, just like how on Twitter, you're continuing to tweet your content out to people. you continue to repin your content out to people. It's not post a new pin every single day. It's repinning your content, the same content, into boards, group boards, sharing it, saving it, etc. If you are unfamiliar with group boards are a great tool because it's a board that has several members involved, so they're always repinning each other's content. It is a great way to get your content promoted and seen by other people. You can also pin your YouTube video. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I reached a lot of repin. I think I did. It'll be the image, the thumbnail. But yeah, Pinterest, it helps to make specific Pinterest long vertical graphics, but if not, just pinning pictures from your blog posts. You know, I always go back to weddings for some reason because I always go on there looking at weddings. The centerpieces. If you click on like the beautiful centerpiece, it was a DIY. It's probably on someone's DIY blog. Like next time you're on Pinterest, look, it's most of the time, especially recipes. Oh, recipes. They're all food blogs. So you may not realize it because you probably weren't looking for it, but Pinterest, if you didn't know, is the hub for bloggers, for driving traffic, and for consistently, you know, getting your content out there. A viral pin can take you anywhere from like hundreds of thousands of viewers in a day because there's just that many people on Pinterest looking for stuff. So I think I touched on each of the points.
Yes, you did. Yep.
Boards are, communities will be the group, Pinterest groups. Boards, you should have your boards organized. I will say that. And it is suggested to have your boards organized in a sense that when someone goes to your Pinterest profile, the front image on every board is branded. So if you have, for example, I have a colorful hair board. Obviously, when you look at it, there's pictures of colorful hair. It's not like random things that don't apply that aren't the same as the title. And cohesively, my Pinterest boards look like they fit. They're colorful, bright, kind of like me. If you're a minimalist, your board images should kind of be minimalist. Like I shouldn't go on there and it's like rainbows. So that's kind of a way that you kind of brand your Pinterest a little bit, even though it's so much more than just the images and the colors. At face value, your Pinterest should speak to what exactly people can expect when they follow you. So I will say, put a little time. I've seen people create images specifically for their board, the front board image. I don't go that far, but I find one that represents what the board is about and fits with the rest of my boards.
Yeah, I just put an example in the chat on YouTube, an example of a branded Pinterest. If you can't see it, you can just look up Lauren Hooker or L, so ELLE and Company. And her first couple of boards are branded, and that's because those are the boards that her blog content is on. And I also posted Tailwind in there, which is an app that will schedule your pins to go out. Because who has time to keep up with all these things, right? Automation is day.
Automation is day. Board Booster does it. Tailwind. Apparently Tailwind is like the creme de la creme. There's another one. Board Booster. Cannot think of. But yes, Lauren Hooker is a great example that she put in here of how she's branded. Hers specifically is primarily based around blogging, branding, graphic design. But as you can see, you're not confused as to what's going on here, you know? So having it branded is very helpful for finding new followers. A tip for, I'm actually going to share, I don't think I have it. There's a blog post on how to increase your traffic and following on Pinterest with a 30-day challenge. And I think it's very helpful. Pinterest is one of those you get what you give, kind of like Facebook. So repinning other people's content, following other people, and just being an active user of Pinterest will definitely help your pins get more traction. Do you have any more tidbits, Ash?
Do you know who the challenge was from?
I have to find.
Was it Melissa Griffin?
No.
Okay. Because Melissa, she is like a Pinterest connoisseur. But yes, if you all have any questions about Pinterest, just drop them in. We are going to move on to our other platforms to show them some love. So Here we have LinkedIn. A lot of people sleep on LinkedIn. They feel like LinkedIn isn't for creatives. That's totally a lie. If you look up your top 3 favorite bloggers who are, a little larger bloggers, and see if they have a LinkedIn. Most likely they do. And it's a great way to get yourself out there. It's also a great way to connect with people who are in PR, because we love our PR professionals. And though, if you think about it, those people are in the corporate world. So most likely they have a LinkedIn. So shouldn't you, if you want to partner with them in order to create different brand opportunities and sponsorships? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's smart.
LinkedIn is definitely also, a lot of people branch into different avenues with their blog, right? Or even PR professionals who are still here, it is also for you as well. Branching out into public speaking, speaking at events. If you're connected with people who work at colleges on LinkedIn, if they have a speaking opportunity and they see that you're technically an entrepreneur, you're a blogger, you're a PR professional, they may want that on their panel. I actually just got a speaking opportunity through LinkedIn, and I'm not even on LinkedIn, but I do have that. I have a blog on there. So an opportunity to speak on a panel was extended my way because I had a LinkedIn. So things like that, things like, because, people can endorse your skills. So like event hosting, if you like to host events, you can put that on there. Someone might invite you to host an event that they're having centered around entrepreneurship. You never know. And the beauty of it is, like she said, a lot of people on LinkedIn are professionals. So if you're looking to more so branch into working with corporate America in some fashion, I definitely recommend being there. And it may not be, I'm not saying you're going to go work for corporate America, but corporate America has lots of opportunities. Do not sleep on business professionals and their companies having opportunities for bloggers and creatives such as ourselves. So that's what I got to say about LinkedIn.
Yes. And then in regards to Snapchat, personally, I look at Snapchat as a peek behind the scenes. And I know a lot of creatives do this. And because all of your other platforms, you are expected to be professional, right? So you want to be able to have people connect with you. So Snapchat is a great way to see, allow people to see behind the scenes and really allow them to feel connected to you, because that's what people love. They love connections. They pay to be connected to people. So if you're trying to sell something, if you have a behind the scenes of how you're sitting there packaging t-shirts all night to 3 a.m., then yes, people are going to love that. And then Periscope, like I said earlier, all live platforms are the bomb. People love that. They love being able to interact, ask questions directly, and that is like the ultimate level of feeling connected, outside of an actual live event. And then Tumblr. Tumblr is super old school. Like I personally, since on Instagram you can have the option to post things to Tumblr, I also do that as well just for fun. I don't know if it helps or hinders me, but it's just like, don't sleep on the OGs, So many people blew up from Tumblr, so hey, maybe it'll happen to me as well. So yeah, let us move on. We have this quick case study that we want to go over. Go ahead,
Which
Tori.
is centered. It's actually centered around Snapchat, like we were just talking about, which is, a huge platform. Don't sleep. If you're not using live in some fashion, I definitely recommend Snapchat. If you're not already using Instagram stories, because they now came out with it, and I believe Facebook now has stories. So yeah, but long story short, L'Oreal did a campaign for their new Pure Clay product. They worked with an agency of approximately, I don't remember how many influencers they worked with, but they targeted female millennials for the new product launch. From their campaign that they did to this agency in the UK, they generated 500 snaps and stories. They required them to use the hashtag #ClayYourWay and multi-masking. So at the end of the day, Clay Your Way was kind of the thing that they did. Obviously, they disclosed that they were provided a free sample by using hashtag Godfrey, because that is very important to disclose if you're getting gifted an item, sent an item for compensation, etc. But the real meat of this case study is the company saw a 53% increase in the social conversions and a 51% sales lift for that respective product. So, long story short, social media, when used right, can drive people to make a purchase, can drive people to do what they need to do. So I think this was a really good example, because at the end of the day, we think, okay, we need to promote our stuff, but like bigger brands don't promote. They do. They just find a way to promote it through influencers such as yourself and myself. So definitely using different social media platforms and figure out which one is best. They focused on Snapchat, because Snapchat allows you to show a snippet. Realistically on Instagram, okay, you're going to post a picture, then what? On Facebook, you might write a long blurb about it, but then what? Snapchat allows you to have like a cute little image, cute little video that's like a couple seconds, centered around the little mask, and it worked really well in their favor. So this case study is great for understanding, how to drive more sales, as well as figuring out the best platform for what you're going to do. You don't have to put, they did promote on different platforms, but figuring out the best platform for you and what you're trying to do will yield the best results for you. It takes more time. So from us talking and sharing all the different tidbits, you should be able to figure out, what do I need to work on? Which platform do I need to invest my time in that's going to get the results I want? So I think that was a really great case study. And our next one, oh, it's messed up. I don't know how that happened. Was actually with Harley Davidson. So everyone knows Harley Davidson. They use Instagram ads for the first time recently. And they aim to reach a younger demographic, which was, this is messed up. It's 18 to 35-year-old men in Australia and New Zealand. What they did was they used illustrations in a carousel format. So if you're unfamiliar with the carousel format, it's, you've probably seen it on Instagram if you've seen an Instagram ad or a Facebook ad. It's a series of images that you can swipe through, and at the end it's like see more by clicking here. And they took, they used illustrations that were adventurous, were cool, were hip and adventurous. And overall, they achieved reaching 1.4 million men in their respective age range in 3 weeks and over 8,000 website clicks. So realistically, going back to what I was saying in terms of finding the respective social media platform that's going to get you the results that you want. Exactly. Understanding they were going to post, they had like multiple photos. So if you're posting multiple photos at one time, it might make more sense to make the carousel than post one photo here, post one photo here, post one photo here. They thought, we're going to put it all into the Instagram carousel and promote it, and look at what happens. So understanding your respective platform and how to use it will alleviate extra stress on you for posting it everywhere, and just really allow you to focus and target what you're trying to do on that respective platform and get those results. So I like those case studies. I like numbers, in case no one knew that. I actually was a math major before I changed my degree. So I really like numbers and statistics. Fun fact.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So the next section and our last section is social media etiquette. And it's real straightforward. Sliding in the DMs. Is it professional or not to build a relationship? Should you send a tweet or send an email? So personally, I have had people slide in my DMs in regards to potential opportunities. And if that's your only way of communicating with a person, which technically it's not, because everyone's email address should be, if it is a business page, should be connected to their actual account, but that's another story. But if sliding in your DMs is basically the handshake, then that's great. But the conversation should elevate to somewhere more professional, like an email. And that's simply because you can't send a contract through no DM. Like, I'm trying to get paid. Like, you can't send me a check through a DM. Like, like, let's be honest here. So I say sliding in the DMs is definitely that handshake, and in order to seal the deal and go to the next step, which is making that money or making that long partnership, definitely elevating it to an email is key. And the second one, which is tweeting or sending an email, which is basically the equivalent, Twitter's equivalent to the Instagram of sliding in DMs, is a lot of people will tweet me something that's like public because, obviously, like at least sliding in someone's DMs is private, so no one can see
Right.
it. It's a little okay. But when you tweet someone something publicly and everyone else can see it, and it's something that should be a private discussion, like that is where your
And so
etiquette,
no.
yeah, your etiquette needs to tap in and be like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea, right? So for that specifically, if you can't find the person's email, you've tried to hunt it down, or maybe, because this is also another point, some people aren't that responsive to emails. Tori and I have both had instances where people, don't respond to emails as quickly
Right.
as they respond to social media because everyone's on their social media. So if you want to, like I said, tweeting can be that handshake, that whole, hey, I would love to connect with you and discuss, ways we can work together. What's your email address? I will be sending you an email, in a couple of hours or this week or whatever. Give them a time frame so that they will know, like, hey, I'm expecting an email from this person. Let me stay on top of my emails. So those are my tips for that, and that is the way that you should navigate it. And now your favorite section, which is a live Q&A. I don't have anything in my boxes over here. Tori, do you have anything over there?
I do not. So we ran overtime per usual, but we started a little late, so I think that that's okay. So now any questions that you have, feel free to drop them. If you want it to be a private question for whatever reason, you can submit it right underneath the video on the actual website page. I will get it over here. And if not, you can post it on the YouTube video. But yeah, definitely what I will say about tweeting and sliding into the DMs, a great thing to do is to mention a company, like mentioning them, but not like mentioning them like, hey, you need to work with me. More so like I did it, for example.
This product. It was great.
Right. I did it when funny story, I thought I was flying Southwest, totally wasn't, but someone booked the ticket for me, so I thought. But I tweeted and I was like, it'll be my first time flying Southwest. I'm interested to see how it'll be. They said, DM us and we'll, hook you up with a discount. Things like that are how, that's how you build relationships with brands. So then when you do slide into the actual inbox, you can reference that, hey, I've been tweeting you in an appropriate manner. Never comment under Instagram photos, be like, hey, do you work with bloggers? I'd love for you to send me stuff. Don't ask a company to send you stuff. I don't know how many times they do. I don't, they do. Just trust me, they do. So yeah, definitely using social media to be social with the brand. That is what social media is for, to be social. It's not to be pushy or pitch them. It's to be social. So kind of, I had a company at me and say, come by for a glass of wine. I'm like, cool, I'll come by for a glass of wine. Yes, girl.
What?
So,
girl, don't even say it. I'm coming to Miami next week.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, being social and casual, I think, on social media in public light, it will work in your favor if you do it right. So talking and engaging with companies just like you would with your following. So does anyone have any questions for us before we close this out? Thank you so much for saying it was great information. So Carla suggested over here, I know I'm late, republish your blog content on LinkedIn Pulse. That's a way that business and professionals can see your content.
Yes.
I was not aware of that. So
yes.
LinkedIn Pulse is apparently the plug. So.
Yes. Carla, yeah, because they have it set up kind of like how Facebook looks like, where people can post things. Yeah, and that is a great suggestion. Thanks, Carla.
Mm-hmm. Look, so Carla apparently is the plug. Carla, she said, Amex reached out to me when all I did was document how I use the service during All-Star Weekend. I was just
Amex,
trying to
the
have fun
credit card? Like,
yeah, she said I was just trying to have fun and posting on Twitter. See, that's how you appropriately mention and connect with companies. You never go at a company, especially publicly. DMs, like you might be able to get away with it depending on, you know, a few factors, but you have to, if you're social in an appropriate way, like mentioning like them, it'll work in your favor in the long run when you actually do slide into their inbox. But don't go at them like, hey, can you send me something for free?
yeah, Tremaine asked that how often do we do webinars? This is her first one.
Tremaine, this is actually a pop-up webinar. We are supposed to be doing webinars on a monthly basis.
For Black Bloggers United, not
yes.
this.
For the Black Public Relations Society, I believe they do something, it's every third Thursday?
Yes.
Am I crazy? It's every third Thursday. This chapter specifically is in DC, so they're doing stuff in the DC region. And they do tend to have actual things in person, just so you're aware. So if you are in DC, you can definitely attend their stuff on the third Thursday. And BBU internally has monthly webinars. I have a question over here. If the Black Public Relations Society is in North Carolina, I do not know. I know that they have DC and Philly because we've been acquainted with them specifically. But they're what I'm gonna look it up for you.
Yeah, that's literally what I was doing too.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up for you because I am not sure. But anyone who is interested in joining, if you're not in the DC region, you can join or find out more information by going to NBRS, so National Black Public Relations Society.org. And you can find out about all the respective chapters there to figure out if there's one in a city near you. Does anyone have, let me refresh this to see if I have any more questions.
Let me see if I have questions over here.
No, it's just that. So North Carolina. Yes, we did our last webinar. Well, not our last, but the one before our last with DC. We actually, I had the opportunity to work with the Philadelphia chapter. So they have Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, LA, Milwaukee, Philly, like I said, and DC at this point in time. So the nearest one to you in North Carolina, I think, would be Atlanta. But you are able to become a member online. Those are just the ones that have like, kind of like how BBU has respective chapters with regional directors in cities, but we have members across the US. We only have regional directors in a few cities, but members everywhere. So you are still able to apply for membership and join the National Black Public Relations Society if you're not in the DC region. Any more questions before we close this thing out? Do you have any more questions on your end, Ashley?
No, no, not based on the chat. All I have is I sent Tremaine the link to the webinar.
I need to find the link for the.
Oh, Alicia, like Alicia Keys, said juggling.
I love that.
Juggling all these social media platforms can be a lot of work. How do you typically manage them all on a weekly basis? And girl, like I said, viral tag. Viral tag.
I don't think we explained what viral tag is though. Like viral tag, the reason that it's good for content creators, and you can do this with things like CoSchedule. I think you can do it with paid Hootsuite, not free Hootsuite. What you do is basically I go in once. I put a tweet in. Well, I write something, right? And I click, I want it to go out on Facebook and Pinterest, and I put it in a category. For example, my viral tag has categories that range from my products on my website, and then events on my website, life posts on my website, girl boss, and travel. So what it'll do is those are my categories. And in my calendar, you'll see a dot here at 6:15 is travel. A dot here at 7:15 is life. A dot here is a service. A dot here. So all of those dots will pull from my hub of tweets. So I just tweet it once in viral tag and it will pull at a respective time and keep pulling from this library over here. I hope that that made sense. I'm really bad at explaining technical stuff. But long story short, you put all of your content into a pot and you just click on the category and you fill out your calendar of when you want your respective categories to post. So I'm not tweeting. That's why I said in my live session the other day, I don't tweet out my promotion anymore. It's already automated. I just go in whenever I have a new blog post, I'll add it to the hub of content and Viral Tag will just pull it and post it for me. So I'm literally I'm tweeting only my, thank you, because that was, I just keep talking. That's what I'm talking about. And it will pull from her hub.
It's really hard for people to see because, well,
there you go.
Okay. So
yeah,
if this Instagram notification would move, you'll see that 11 a.m. I tweet out a YouTube video. 12 p.m. I tweet out midday motivation. I'm reading this backwards. 1 p.m. I tweet out a question for a blog post. 4:30 I tweet out Facebook. So literally you can create whatever you want your schedule to look like and set it up that way. And like she said, all you have to do is take some time on Sunday because I don't have time. Like you said, I don't have time during the week to do this. So it's like one time on the weekend and just go in and put your information in and it automates it. So yeah, don't be fooled out here thinking that people are doing the most and doing all of this. They are automating, girl. So
yeah. And the thing is, like I said, once it's in there, I have old blog posts from 2016 still going and still getting traction because it's just in there. So once you put all of your blog posts that you have in there, it's literally just whenever you do a new post, you just add it. That's all you have to do for promo. If you want to schedule an announcement that you have a new post, you can do that. You can set it up and schedule maybe 5 posts to tweet out, go on Facebook or even LinkedIn. LinkedIn is integrated. I think Pinterest is integrated. Instagram's also integrated. It'll just send you a notification. It will not post on your behalf. But yeah, you just have to go in there, put it in there once for your evergreen content specifically, and it'll just continue to go. I use it for my personal blog. I use it for BBU and promoting things with BBU because ain't nobody got time for all of that.
Yeah. So it's comparable to Meet Edgar, but Meet Edgar is way more expensive.
It's very expensive.
World Black History, I think her name was Janice, said, where can we see Tori's live on Twitter? Is that not Periscope, or is that something different?
Periscope it's integrated with Twitter. So
is that her question though? Where can we see Tori's live on Twitter?
I'm gonna go ahead and retweet it. Look, I've been tweeting since this thing started. I'm going to go ahead and retweet it for you so you can watch it. If I can find it. Yeah, it went up. And I look. Forgive me for how I look in that live session. But yeah, I just retweeted it. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it is She's Candid. That's my personal Twitter. And I'm candid. So, yeah. Any other questions? I don't have any over here.
Me neither.
Okay, so Kimberly is in the Raleigh-Durham chapter for BBU. Hey, girl. Did you get a chance to go to the event the other day? I hope you did. But
we're going to put up our thank you screen real quick. Y'all can still ask questions, but we just want to put up the thank you screen since y'all didn't hear my whole spiel about beepers in the beginning. Because apparently y'all couldn't hear me say anything. But this again was brought to you by Beepers and BBU. Beepers is all over. You just heard Tori talk about the different chapters that they had. So this is the website that she said, and that's how you can follow them on social media, specifically the DC chapter. But like she said, go to the national website to find more specifically about each chapter. And then for BBU, for those of you who aren't familiar, we now have over 800 members in our network, and we literally started out as a little website, well, a little Instagram page that was just shouting people out. So now we have over 800 members, so that's pretty dope. So yeah, I don't see any more comments over here. A lot of people said they'll be checking out Viral Tag, so that's awesome.
Yeah, Viral Tag is definitely, it's a time saver. And from what I found, it is the most inexpensive automation, not like scheduling yourself out, because even scheduling could take hours. I still do manually schedule all of BBU's internal promotion. So like in our Facebook group, I still manually do all that. But sitting and scheduling stuff out takes time. So even when people say schedule your stuff out, it makes your life easier. You're still losing maybe 2-3 hours depending on how many platforms you have. So Viral Tag is really awesome because once it's done, it's done. You don't have to schedule anymore. You don't have to do anything. It is, I have the blogger plan. The blogger plan is $10 a month. I got a free month, I think, when I started, and then now it's $10. I don't mind spending that $10 anymore. I used to be like, oh my God, I don't want to, but look, $10, and I only tweet or post on Facebook when I'm actually talking. And like I mentioned in the live session, if you are someone who's looking to get on Twitter, speaking and tweeting your own personal tweets is really helpful in growing and building yourself up on Twitter. So now that the stuff's automated, I could just talk, and that's awesome. So hopefully that's helpful for anyone who's interested. And I don't have any more questions over here, Ashley.
Yeah, neither do I. People are just saying thank you. So thank you all. Tremaine said $10. Yes. So
yeah, it's $10. I didn't want to drop it at first. You'll realize it's worth it. And you get that first month for free. If you want to write a review on your blog, they will give you 6 months for free. Yeah. That is another option if you want to. I was going to, but I just didn't have time. And I was like, it's $10. You could still do it at any point in time if I really want to go back and do it. But
thank you for tuning in, Britt.
Thank you. I can't say the thank yous, but thank you. They're not updating on my end.
Even with the YouTube video open?
Yeah, I have it open. It's not updating. I just hear you saying thank you, so I'm going to say thank you too.
Oh,
thank you.
Fantastic webinar. Aw, thanks, y'all. I wish we could save this chat. Can we save this chat? No, probably not.
No, I have my chat, the one over here. This is the bootleg one because you guys can't.
But no, thank you all. Make sure that you become members of BBU. And if you have a PR Beepers chapter in your area, connect with them because this type of content is important, and we both are advocates on getting it out. So definitely stay in touch and have a great night.
Bye-bye.